Two yield aggregators. Both promise to maximize your returns. Both have loyal communities that will tell you theirs is the obvious choice. Neither community mentions the trade-offs. I'm Rachel from ChainSense. Here's my honest review of both, including the parts the fans skip. Yearn Finance is the original yield aggregator, deposit tokens. The protocol does the rest. V3 genuinely changed the game, but not every change was purely upside down. Yearn V3 introduced modular vault architecture. Each vault runs multiple strategies simultaneously, lending on Aave, providing liquidity on Curve, farming incentives on Convex, all rotating automatically based on where the best risk-adjusted yield is. On paper, this is the smartest design in DeFi yield. In practice, it means you are trusting layers of smart contracts you will never read. How it works. Deposit USDC into a Yearn vault. The vault allocates across 3 to 5 strategies. As yields shift, Yearn's strategists rebalance. You hold one vault token that appreciates as yield accrues. Elegant. But that simplicity hides real complexity underneath. Current yields. Stablecoin vaults earn 5 to 12% APY depending on market conditions. ETH vaults range from 3 to 8%. The variance comes from strategy rotation and incentive availability. And here is what the yield dashboards do not show. Those numbers are after Yearn takes its cut. Fees. V3 changed the fee model completely. Dynamic fees per vault. Factory deployed vaults typically charge 10% performance with zero management fee. Some charge nothing at all, a massive improvement from V2. But dynamic also means you need to check each vault individually. In a low-yield environment, earning 6%, even a 10% performance fee only takes 0.6, much better than V2. But do not assume one vault's fee structure applies to another. The V3 advantage is worth noting: permissionless vault creation. Anyone can build a strategy and propose it. Community-audited strategies compete for allocation. This creates a marketplace of yield ideas. The risk: not every community auditor catches what a professional audit would. The permissionless model is innovative, but adds a trust layer most users do not evaluate. My take on Yearn: true set and forget yield with battle-tested infrastructure since 2020. Multi-strategy diversification within a single vault is genuinely powerful, but you are paying for abstracted risk. In bull markets, worth every basis point. In bear markets, fees compound against a shrinking yield. Convex Finance takes a completely different approach. Instead of rotating across protocols, Convex focuses entirely on one thing: maximizing Curve finance rewards. That focus is both its greatest strength and its most obvious vulnerability. The core mechanic. Curve uses vote escrow tokenomics. Lock CRV for up to 4 years as VECRV to earn boosted rewards, up to 2.5 times. Most users do not want a 4-year lock. Convex solves this. And it solved it so effectively that it now controls the ecosystem. Convex pools CRV from thousands of users and locks it permanently as VECRV. This gives a maximum 2.5 times boost to every Convex depositor. You get the boost without the lock. The trade-off nobody discusses: that CRV is locked forever. The protocol's strategy is irreversible by design. 2 ways to use Convex. First, deposit Curve LP tokens. You earn boosted CRV rewards plus CVX token rewards on top. Second, convert CRV to CVX CRV. A liquid wrapper that earns staking rewards, trading fees, and CVX incentives. No lock required on your end. But understand what you are giving up. CVX CRV is a one-way conversion. You cannot get your original CRV back. You depend on the secondary market to exit. Current yields. Curve LP deposits on Convex earn 8 to 25% APY, depending on the pool. CVX CRV staking earns roughly 10 to 15%. Now here is the catch I want you to think about. Those headline numbers include CVX token incentives. CVX emissions decrease over time by design. The sustainable base yield, what you earn from actual trading fees and CRV rewards without CVX, is meaningfully lower. Anyone planning long-term needs to model the yield without CVX incentives. Convex controls over 50% of all locked CRV, over $3 billion in total value locked. That is enormous governance power concentrated within a single protocol. Convex essentially decides which Curve pools get the highest rewards. This is either a competitive advantage or a systemic risk, depending on your perspective. I lean toward both. Fees. 16% performance fee on CRV rewards, 1% withdrawal fee on Curve LP tokens. Cheaper than Yearn on paper. But that 1% withdrawal fee means you pay to leave. Factor that into your break-even calculation. My take on Convex. An elegant solution to the VECRV lock problem with deep curve integration, but total dependency on one protocol's health, declining CVX emissions, and irreversible CRV conversion are risks that deserve more attention than they get. Yearn or Convex? The internet will give you a tribal answer depending on which community you ask. Here's the honest comparison. Yield approach. Yearn rotates across the entire DeFi ecosystem. Convex focuses exclusively on curve. Yearn is a generalist. Convex is a specialist. Neither approach is inherently better. They solve different problems. Headline yields. Convex typically offers higher APY on curve pools, 8 to 25% versus Yearn's 5 to 12. But that comparison is misleading. Convex only works with curve assets. Yearn accepts a wider range of tokens. You are comparing a specialist's best performance against a generalist's average. Of course, the specialist wins on its home turf. Risk profile. And this is where the real difference matters. Yearn spreads risk across multiple protocols and strategies. If one strategy fails, others compensate. Your downside is diluted. Convex concentrates risk entirely on curve. If curve has a security incident, loses liquidity, or falls out of relevance in DeFi, Convex has no fallback. That concentration has been rewarded so far. Past performance, as they say. Fees. Yearn's V3 typically charges 10% performance with zero management. Convex charges 16% performance plus 1% withdrawal. For curve LP positions where both are options, Convex looks cheaper in terms of performance, but that exit fee adds friction if you rebalance frequently. Complexity. Yearn is genuinely simpler. Deposit a supported token, earn yield, leave when you want. Convex requires understanding curve pools, LP tokens, the CRV and CVX dynamic, and the relationship between CVX emissions and sustainable yield. If that last sentence confused you, start with Yearn. My actual recommendation, use both, but deliberately. Yearn for non-curve assets, stablecoins, ETH, wrapped BTC, where multi-strategy rotation adds genuine value. Convex specifically for curve LP positions, where the boosted rewards outperform Yearn's approach for that same asset. Always check both platforms for the same deposit and compare net APY after all fees. For beginners, Yearn first. The vault abstraction handles complexity that would take you months to learn manually. Graduate to Convex once you genuinely understand Curve's liquidity pools and V-tokenomics. Not when you think you understand them, when you actually do. Yearn for simplicity and diversification. Convex for maximum curve rewards, both battle-tested. Both have real trade-offs that deserve your attention before you deposit. For complete platform reviews with step-by-step deposit guides and yield calculators, check my website. Link in the description. The Hub video covers everything from Pendle tokenization to impermanent loss management. Subscribe to ChainSense, comment, Yearn, Convex, or both, and tell me why. See you in the next video.